Hello, my name's Angela from Angela Simpson Functional Medicine Physiotherapy. Thanks for joining me, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about an issue that so many women bring to me in my practice, and it's something that I've also dealt with personally, and I wanted to bring to you what the potential solution is for you, and that is low iron. And so there's so many females that seem to be suffering and struggling with this, and often they equate it to having low energy. Sometimes people do feel dizzy, lightheaded when their iron is really low, and just a general feeling of not feeling overall well and balanced. And it is assumed that the low iron is actually the cause of the problem. And the reason for this is because, typically when you have these symptoms, and you may or may not have heavy bleeding with your periods if you're having regular cycles, but often it is assumed that this is the reason that the iron is low. And especially if this is deemed low on a typical blood lab that you would get at your family doctor. The problem is if the iron levels are in fact low, and you are suffering from a lot of the symptoms that would be deemed related to low iron, it still doesn't necessarily tell you what the cause of the low iron is. And one other thing that you can run into that can be troublesome is if you do put iron in through a supplement form, which is a common recommendation when it is deemed low on a blood lab, is it can be quite inflammatory to your gut, your immune system, and it doesn't actually always get absorbed properly. And so it doesn't necessarily make you feel better. And sometimes it actually can make you feel worse. And it might not make you feel worse immediately, but over time, if you continue to use it and it's not actually being absorbed and utilized properly, it can build up in the system and it can wreak havoc on your gut lining, the walls of the intestines, and it can actually make things worse over time. And so what is the solution for this? So if you do feel like you are suffering from fatigue, you might feel like you have chronic fatigue, like it's something you're suffering from ongoing, and you assume it's the low iron that's causing this, or you might notice it more, particularly around the time of your cycle. And you might find that you have potentially headaches, dizziness, lightheadedness, brain fog, and you might be thinking, well, what can I do about this if I'm taking iron as is recommended from a practitioner, maybe your doctor, and it's not actually making me feel any better? Well, what's the solution? And so I want to let you know that the solution doesn't necessarily come from matching a blood lab to a supplement or a medication. It's really important to be thinking of why you could have a low iron in the first place. And quite commonly, this has to do with absorption in our bodies. And often this has to do with gut and immune system dysfunction. So we often aren't absorbing not only iron, but some of our other essential minerals and potentially vitamins and nutrients if we have imbalances in our immune system and in our gut. And I find this is so common with females that are suffering from symptoms of hormone imbalance, chronic fatigue, things that they think are related to iron-related issues, related around the cycle. If you dig a little deeper, it's often related to some imbalances in the gut and the immune system that actually started a long time ago, and they actually are getting worse over time because it hasn't been treated and addressed. And so it's really important that you work with a practitioner that understands all of these connections, does the proper testing around not only iron, but all of the other minerals and potentially vitamins that are could be deficient if you are suffering from these types of symptoms of fatigue on an ongoing basis, lightheadedness, brain fog, headaches, just a general feeling of not feeling well. Nausea sometimes as well might be worse around the time of your cycles. So it's really essential that you figure out the root cause of where it's coming from. So you have to work with a practitioner that understands all these connections and that will actually look for that root cause, because there's never going to be that one solution that's going to help you get better. It actually is something that you need to look at the whole big picture and look at the processes in your body and what actually needs that rebalancing to help you feel better. And it may or may not be iron, and taking that to actually help you increase your iron levels. I've seen so many females, and myself included, who has also suffered from low iron forever, as long as I can remember, as far as blood labs. The only thing that actually made it come back up, and I've seen this with several of my clients, is to actually get my gut and my immune system rebalanced. It had nothing to do with taking iron supplements, and in fact, it was perpetuating the issue and making it worse. So if you think this is you, if you feel like you have been struggling with low iron for a long time, you've tried several different things to try and increase the levels and you haven't had much success, you're looking for an answer to these feelings that you're feeling right now. You don't want to go on feeling this way anymore. It's affecting your family life, your ability to work, to focus and concentrate and feel like yourself again. Please let me know, because I'm happy to have a consult with you to discuss your health symptoms, where they could be coming from, and how to actually dig deep and find the appropriate lab testing that you need to actually get you started with a rebalancing program that's going to help you not just now, but long term. So please feel free. You can always contact me through the Facebook group here if you're a member of my private Facebook group, Functional Medicine for Hormonal Imbalances. You can send me a private message through my business page, Angela Simpson Functional Medicine Physio. I'm happy to connect with you that way. Or you can also go to my website, www.angelasimpsonfunctionalmedicine.ca, and you can book yourself a complimentary consult, and I'm happy to speak with you and determine if it's a good fit for us to work together to help you get back on track with optimizing your health and wellness again. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Take care.